Alright guys, today we'll have a first look at the matches included in WWE 2K14's 30 Years of WrestleMania mode, starting with the matches included in the Hulkamania Runs Wild chapter. So these are the matches included in the first chapter, with most WrestleManias having one match from the card, aside from WrestleManias 3 and 9 which have two. So let's dive in and take a look at some of the screenshots. First up, we'll have the WrestleMania 1 match between André the Giant and Big John Studd, which confirms that André will have a secondary attire for this match that has his navy blue trunks instead of the singlet that we used to seeing him with. And if you're wondering what the bag is, well, this match was a $15,000 body slam challenge, so the bag contains the prize money which André won and then began throwing out the crowd, only for Bobby Heenan to run in and steal it away from him. Switching to WrestleMania 2, and we'll have the WWF Championship Steel Cage match as Hulk Hogan defends the title against King Kong Bundy. Now, you can't see him in this shot, but as with the last match, Bobby Heenan was managing Bundy, so he might well be ringside for this encounter. Also, one thing that you can see here is the blue iconic steel cage, which again makes its return. On to WrestleMania 3, and a match that has already been confirmed as Hulk Hogan defends the WWF Championship against André the Giant, once again with Bobby Heenan at ringside. And you'll also notice that André now has his main singlet attire that he's associated with, so that's two attires so far for André. As for the match, we already know the aim is to body slam André and go on and win the match, as well as that we won't be able to perform lifting moves on André due to the weight detection system, which will give the match a more realistic feel. Aside from that, you'll also notice an unhappy fan in the audience holding up a boo sign, but he's not actually unhappy with the match, just the fact that Roddy Piper still hasn't been announced as he proudly wears his Piper t-shirt. Sticking with WrestleMania 3, and we'll have the Intercontinental Championship match between Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat, but as I mentioned previously, this match ended with interference from George the Animal Steele, who was managing Steamboat at the time, and he pushed the Macho Man off the top rope, which allowed Steamboat to then roll him up and get the win. So the question remains, is George Steele in the game? And because of the way that he was involved, I'm going to say it's a high possibility, even though the 30 Years of WrestleMania roster has been revealed, because the reveal didn't include managers, so I still think that it is a possibility. Moving on to WrestleMania 4, and once again we see the Macho Man on the top rope, this time in a match against Ted DiBiase in the final of the tournament for the vacant WWF Championship. As you can see here, DiBiase has André at ringside as his manager, and out of view Savage has two managers, Miss Elizabeth and Hulk Hogan, with Hogan actually getting involved and hitting DiBiase with a steel chair to help Savage while the referee was distracted. Another thing here is the arena, which you'll also notice looks a little different as the previous ones all look pretty much the same. On to WrestleMania 5, and we'll have Hogan taking on Macho Man Randy Savage for the WWF Championship with Miss Elizabeth at ringside, although she wasn't actually in anyone's corner this time. In the screenshot though, we see Savage pointing at her after she tried to check on him, to which Savage then pushed her away before the referee sent her backstage. As for new things here, we do see two new attires for Savage and Miss Elizabeth, but these are just colour changes made through Superstar threads, as the attires are exactly the same. On to WrestleMania 6, and a match that was shown on the WWE Games livestream, with the Ultimate Warrior facing Hulk Hogan for the WWF and Intercontinental Championships. Now, the good news here is that it's already been confirmed that you don't need to pre-order and get Warrior to be able to play this match, as you'll still be able to play as him in this match without pre-ordering. As for the screenshot, this takes place after the match when Hogan hands Warrior the WWF Championship in a show of respect. So I'll put a link in the video description of this entire match so that you can check that out if you haven't already seen it. WrestleMania 7 now, and we get this awesome screenshot of Sergeant Slaughter in his Iraqi uniform as he makes his way at the ring for his match with Hulk Hogan for the WWF Championship. I think Slaughter's attire here looks really cool, especially with the flag, and of course there's Howard Finkel also included in the background, awkwardly checking out Sarge's ass. On to WrestleMania 8, and we'll have Randy Savage taking on Ric Flair, with Savage having Miss Elizabeth once again in his corner, this time wearing a bright pink outfit, which again is a case of Superstar threads, while Savage has a new gold attire that looks incredibly well made, with the creases in the top even visible as he strikes away at Flair. Now, speaking of Flair, he also had a manager for this match in Mr. Perfect, so again, as with George Steele, there's still the possibility that he may be included, but we're going to have to wait and see. One thing we can see, however, is the commentary team with JR and King on commentary, but you'll notice King has his regular current era t-shirt from the looks of it, which is kind of a shame, as I'd like to see him ringside in his classic attire with the crown. Finally, moving on to WrestleMania 9, which is the last WrestleMania to be revealed today, and we'll have Yokozuna dropping his huge leg on Bret Hart to win the WWF Championship outside at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. Going back to managers though, and another that was included in this match was Mr. Fuji, who I think has got to be included, as he was in Yokozuna's corner and he got involved by throwing salt in the eyes of Bret Hart, which helped Yokozuna to actually go on and get the victory. But this WrestleMania doesn't end there, as also confirmed immediately taking place after this match is the match between Yokozuna and Hulk Hogan for the WWF Championship, which again seen Mr. Fuji get involved, this time though accidentally throwing salt in the eyes of Yokozuna, which led to Hogan then hitting the leg drop and getting the pinfall in just 22 seconds, which I think would make for a pretty cool timed objective to this match. So that's all the matches being revealed today, but I'll be back from 3 PM tomorrow as we reveal the new Generation Era matches, with the Attitude Era on Wednesday, Ruthless Aggression Era on Thursday, and finally the Universe Era matches on Friday. So thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and I'll catch you tomorrow at 3 PM for the new generation reveal.